let's set the show up while everybody's getting set up with their cameras and stuff like that. Um, so, Alan, um, okay, I want to let everybody know that tonight's going to be a very special show. So, uh, as usual, we have some interesting things going on with the audio, but we got things going, and I'm going to work it a little bit of manual stuff here. I want to let you know that you are watching Intervision FM, and you guys, if you're doing this in the dark, like we are, this is not for children to do. So don't let the kids play in the dark with their cameras like this. So anyway, we want to thank our very special sponsor, and that is Christian Brothers Moving Company. And they sponsored us for like the whole year this year, and so we want to thank them. And we're working on another place as well, and so we're working that. And tonight we are also thanking like the new subscribers that have joined us, and I think I sent that over to you, Alan, as well.
Yeah, you sent me a big old list. Want to thank Max Paradox. Want to thank Sharon. Want to thank Kathy. Want to thank a couple of other folks.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for your subscriptions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's real easy. Just hit that notifications bell as well. Set those notifications to all. This way, you'll never miss a live broadcast of Intervision FM.
Yeah, and that's definitely thank you guys. I mean, it's been so many people that it's hard to keep up with thanking everybody.
Notification. Calendar. Sound out good. Calendar. Answer call.
I'm gonna figure out, and this is probably somebody who doesn't know that we're doing the show right now. So,
so you'll take this call real quick, ladies and gentlemen. We often have folks on the show. We have a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Lee Tillman, no relation to the football player. Is that right, Mr. Tillman?
Me and Peanut are distant cousins. Are you talking about the great Peanut Tillman, great Cedric
That's
Tillman,
absolutely right.
Lewis Tillman? I'm just saying. Which Tillman? Cedric the great Cedric Tillman from Alcorn State, who helped Steve McNair become the great all-time NCAA quarterback leading champion from the great HBCU of Alcorn State. Of course, you see, I used to compete against my other cousin at Jackson State, great Benny Tillman. So I should go down there and watch them go back and forth. But yes, I am related to the great CC. We call him CC. Oh, CC, yeah.
All right. Mr. Tilden, you are involved in in the nature of politics and that kind of thing. You've been involved for quite some time, a number of years, actually. When did you first get involved? It looks like you were back in 2012, 2010. You've been involved quite actively in the field of politics.
Well, excuse me, my resume does not do me justice because my sister saying not like pad my stats, but quite frankly, there was a politician, son by the name of Ralph Metcalf Jr. And when I had to be about 8, 9, and 10, I joined his campaign. And his campaign was trying to be alderman. And I just got into the limelight, not the limelight, but the interest there. And then I joined, being a little kid, parents taking me everywhere. Then, semi-kid volunteering for, at that time, state senator Harold Washington before he became Congressman Harold Washington, before he became Mayor Harold Washington. So all those times I've been doing those things. Then my mother became in politics with my mother out, was at that time. And then when the machine, I don't go, when the Dominion machines came in Chicago, I ain't gonna trip on that, but we was ground zero and my mother got removed. Then I jumped in the political game. I formed a group called the Martin Luther King Republicans in about 2008. Right after Barack Obama became the president, won the nomination of president of the United States. And I formed that organization, ironically in the Trump Hotel, not knowing Trump was my guy. I formed it in the Trump Hotel because I felt that, being Black History Month, let me keep it Black History, you Black History. I felt that the Black Party, the Democratic Party, was going to be done with Black people. I said all our sweat, toil, and suffering, they're going to say enough is enough. As a matter of fact, I told you the LBJ experience might be over. Generation might close right here. He said for a generation. We might be that generation. I was laughing and joking. But I see it's true now. I was just joking at that time. And so I said, I'm going to form this group right here just in case y'all see me now. But by this time it is now, y'all be ready. So now I didn't form it to be disrespectful for Barack Obama because, hey, I supported him and I voted for him. But at that time, I saw that it was a game being played with Black Americans. I saw it like clear as day. And I felt that they were going to tell the Black community, which they're telling us now, that we gave you Barack Obama. We don't need to do nothing for you else no more, which they're doing right now. You look at, we had low unemployment under Trump. They made sure it went back up high under Joe Biden, but not talking about that. So I formed the Martin Luther King Republicans to be a counterbalance because, Alan, a lot of people don't see you, but they'll know you white. So let me see that. Choose that, Alan, right? He's white for the record. A lot of Black people, Alan, are very spiritual. You feel me? Come on, we do believe in the Creator a lot. And a lot of democratic laws and values are anti-Christian, anti-moral laws that our community, the Black community people, I'm not separating us, we're all American communities, but I'm just going from this little category. Our community is very heavily spiritual. It was the Constitution and the Bible that kept us through all the days from when one part of America was enslaved, kept us through, and kept another part of America strong while that was free. So we had a Constitution, we had religion, the Constitution, and our family. And the Democratic Party is stripping the Constitution from you, taking away your religion from you, and stripping your family from you. It's counterproductive to everything that we as a people, in my opinion, stood for. So that's why I formed the Martin Luther King Republicans. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said absolutely. Absolutely.
No, and I'm telling you, a lot of people are not, either taught like civics and the Constitution. So with us being dumbed down so much, is it hard to find like the younger people that even understand the concept of what's going on, or are they so busy living their life or playing their video games or whatever they're doing that?
Well, I just had a conversation with my sister, and I was trying to form a dialect or conversation, or see if I'm able to conversate with what you're just saying. And it hit me like a rock. Alan, you, myself, we came up to the generation where we said there was no way in our lifetime we ever see a Black president. The generation under us can never ever say that. They can never understand about whites only. They can never understand about segregation. They are finally the generation that King dreamt about, but it's just the immorality ways now that are separating everything that's going on now. So it's hard for them to see the revolution. When the revolution is televised, it's hard for them to understand the Vietnam War. They saw the Iraq War. That the Vietnam War to them is nothing to that generation like the Iraq War or what happened in Afghanistan, which is far different from the generation that we grew up in. And so there's a lot of things that our generation, who parents was another generation, whose grandparents was another generation, whose great-grandparents probably were slaves, the generation that's coming up, they have a quote-unquote pseudo form of a promise fulfilled. And it's difficult for my generation to understand because it happened so quick. The generation older than me to understand because they could not, it happened so fast. Too fast for them to see it happen, too quick for us to understand what's happening. And the younger generation is too murky for them to understand, but they're just going along. They have no idea about what the Constitution meant or what the fight was, because one generation needed that to fight for all these other things. And they look at, well, probably Alan was coming up, he'd probably be shunned at for having a Black woman, or vice versa. His sister probably couldn't date a Black man or something like look upon that and that. In this generation, That's a regular. You know, there's you have white people fighting for black rights. You have white people screaming at white folks for being called a racist. You see something totally different than what we grew up in. And so with that perception, or that pseudo perception, because some of it is real, a lot of it is real, but there's a baseline of lack of information to make what's real solvent and stronger. It's easy to dilute the children of the generation with reality when we're stuck in a metaverse, when everything's artificial, even our intelligence.
That's easy.
Right. And our intelligence is artificial. It's difficult for them to grasp something that is real. And it's hard for them to reject something that is real when they've been growing up of something that is artificial. Even the fact that Barack Obama is not a Black American, he's an African, he's a black American, but he's an African American, not a Black American descended from slavery and understands the pain. But so you give his opinion on what America is, and a generation will see what America is through his eyes, and not through the eyes of somebody who went through a generation of struggle and who can appreciate where we at now because of where we came from, instead of generation not knowing where we came from. So it's difficult to appreciate them where we are, because all our fears have been answered to their mind. That's just a little layup. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I also heard that Obama's family knew the Bush's family, and so I understand it as it was like a grooming. They knew he was going to be, probably put in this position. I don't know if that's conspiracy kind of theory.
We can go all the conspiracy theory stuff like that, but I do say this, that the great Richard Nixon predicted that one day a Black was going to be president, and why not a Republican? And at that time, he had wanted Ed Brooks to be his vice president when Spiro Agnew was going through that little problem. But at that time, Nixon was going through his little deal, and he didn't want to touch that to be a symbolized being a Black president coming in at that time. But if we look at it, he would have been, then they got Gerald Ford, for the record. Then they got Gerald Ford. But for the record, if he would have accepted at the time, he would have been the first Black president. But that's how we was doing it. But back to the Barack Obama part of the game, by his father being African, and his mother being Caucasian, and his sister being Polynesian, he has a world, a different world view of America than someone that grandmother was a descendant, like myself, or another Black who descendant fought for the revolution and understand what the country is about. You see, here in America, yes, we're slaves, but we also was free. One side of the story has always been told, but I'm always try to bring the both stories together at that time. At this time. But back to what we was talking about, why the generations are not clicking. It's because taking the Constitution not mandatory to graduate from high school no longer. Taking the Constitution not mandatory to come out of grammar school no longer. There's no focus on the Constitution. And if you tell the generation, if you remove the generation laws and rules and regulation of how they govern themselves in the country, then you have a generation who do not understand the laws and rules and regulation of the country. And then you have all these unconstitutional laws being passed by the next generation of citizens who've grown up in America, not respecting the Constitution. And that's why you have no-knock warrants. We're here in America, it's illegal search and seizure. What do you mean there's no warrant, no knock, you can't come on my door without producing a warrant? That's against the Constitution. What do you mean I can't gather? I can't assemble. I have a right to assemble. What do you mean I can't go to church? I have a freedom of assembly. What do you mean I can't carry a gun? I have a right to bear arms. What do you mean I gotta be quiet? I have free speech. So we had a generation who has no understanding what those rights and laws are, and they're lawless. And our generation are not instilling those into them or showing them how important. It's difficult for us to blame them without blaming ourselves, by not harping on how important the Constitution is.
And a lot of these freedoms, I know it was taken away, like the 2001 when the planes went into those buildings, and then we just said yes, do anything just to keep us safe. and then that put us in a vulnerable place. And on, I guess Bush and Cheney were in at that time, and somehow I think Bush and Cheney, or Cheney had some business dealings with war, because he that another story, and then Clinton and what have we got now? Obama, and despite
But
it just seems like they're all together, and there's no separation there.
well, dig this. You right by saying Bush, Cheney, and Clinton. Let's just throw them in one circle. But you said 9/11, when citizens' rights, constitutional rights are taken from them. You're not going to go Clinton crime bill. You're not going to go 3 strikes you're out. You're not going to go, well, I'm going to remove constitutional rights from one generation of people. You see, the beginning started back then, removing constitutional rights from a group of Americans, taking them from under their constitutional protection, where they cannot gather on a block 5 or more, because hold on, you can't assemble no more. Well, you can't own a weapon. Hold on. You can't have a gun. You have no right to protect yourself. Hold on. We can come in your house without no warrant. Hold on. We can take your property from you. We can just do those things. So when a group of people said, okay, justify crime, we're going to take a group of citizens' constitutional rights from them, and everybody applaud. When the 9/11 bill comes, you can look upon those group of Americans and say, hold on, they're Americans too. And if those constitutional rights are not right for them, then they're not right for you neither, since you didn't stand up for those group of Americans. So it's easy to come with 9/11 and just make this move and bring your homeland security, because when you was quiet when it came for one, who's going to speak when it comes for all? And so that's what's happening right now. And that's why we are under attack so severely. And now that's why it's a great wake-up call for all Americans to realize that this is not just no overnight thing. When they came at the one Americans, they come at the all Americans. So it's time for all Americans to come together under the Constitution, united as one country. What do you think about that, Alan?
Well, you guys bring up some very valid points. At the local, at the state, and at the federal level is how we get involved. I mean, we have moved beyond the point of whining and crying about what is going on and how our rights are being taken away. And we've moved into the action phase. Unfortunately, with the trucker situation, what we can't even really go into or talk about too deeply, even on free speech type of platforms like this, there is no free speech. Our benevolent overlords at YouTube and other places do not so much enjoy that First Amendment of ours.
Right.
And so it does get difficult, and it does get dicey. It's interesting to note that once the federal government of any people, once they've taken power for themselves, they very, very rarely relinquish that power back to the people. But it is our responsibility, as well as our right, to instill and to keep and preserve those rights that are given to us by God. They're not given to us by man and afforded to us by our government, but given to us by God.
Yes, and people seem to forget that, Alan, that they are afforded to us by God. Why are we debating rights that are God-given? There's
it
no
don't matter
argument
white,
here.
black, brown, yellow. It don't matter what the color of the skin is. It matters that they were given to us all by God. Every single one of us.
That is true. So why should we debate rights that are given? You see, if they're taking rights that are given to us by the Creator, they have no respect for our Creator. So this is why it's important to instill those laws in, because right now, all American is feeling what it is to be, excuse me for the colorful language, a nigger with no rights. Let me stop you. Take off your shoes when you go through this airport. Let me pat you down. Let me see what you got. Let me go through your bag.
Yeah,
Let me come in your house.
it was almost like they were bringing what happens in South Central to all of the United States, and we just lay down and take it because we're so afraid. And it seemed like when they get us what we're afraid, that's when they take more power.
That is so true. And that's why this is such an important time. It's an election cycle everywhere. And if, like me, I'm with the Heritage, I'm a fellow at the Heritage Academy, I'm a Sentinel, I'm an author, I'm a publisher. I got a book out called Tillman's Handbook of Great Black American Patriots. And you know, just give me to dc.com. I'm gonna even send it, but I ain't gonna plug that in. I'm just letting y'all know that it's important to look at these people who you're going to be choosing to see how much they love the Constitution. Anybody can say that. Everybody can say that. But in the end, do they protect your freedoms? Not just a freedom for the white man or the white truckers or the black Antifa or the white Proud Boys or the whatever you want to call them, but the freedoms for all Americans, because the fight is that. Quiet, check it out, Johnny. And between me and you, Johnny, nobody wants to be a nigger. And all Americans woke up and they became, I'm a nigger? What happened? I'm a nigger? I didn't sign up for this.
Yes.
Right, you see?
Oh, man.
And they realize that that's how it is to have your rights taken from you.
Right.
To be able to have a vaccine pass go here, to be able to have your papers go there, to be able to not walk around free. You see, and that's all Americans right now.
Yeah, and
not
because
just one particular group, Alan. Go ahead,
yeah, and also because we don't study history. I mean, if we study, just go back to what Hitler was doing with the. I mean, I used to watch this show. It was coming called Hogan's Hero, and it showed it like what it was. You know, you had to have those papers, or you were in trouble, and you had to, you know, if you had to forge it, whatever, and have fake papers, you had those papers. And we even started that with the vaccine. People were getting fake vaccine cards
just to get out.
Yeah, and it wasn't in law, all these restrictions. It was just these decrees by these governors in blue states that were putting it, and then it got confused with policemen were enforcing the law, but it wasn't a law.
Our people perish for lack of knowledge. Let's go 100%. Let's keep 100, and this is where we are right now. The very elect, the very mighty, everybody is getting fooled, so people need to wake up and just go within themselves and just believe in their creator. I'm gonna say it again, trust the plan, everything's gonna be straight all right. You know, God is in control, and fear is the only thing right now that is keeping everybody from losing their freedom. And the great Harriet Tubman said, no. There's free and freedom. There's no fear. You're just free and freedom. There's no fear. So you can't be scared when it's time to fight for your freedom. You know, you got to stand up and to be a country like we are, a great country like we are. You see, it's me, it's you, it's Alan, you know, it's Ebony over here. We are different. You from over there. You like Cedric Tillman. I like Peanut Tillman. My cousin, it was, you know, Benny Tillman from Mississippi. We all like different Tillman. Right. What I'm saying is we have different races, we have different religions, we have different gods. We don't have the same color. All we have is the Constitution, our language, and our flag. That's what makes us whole. Yeah. Once you start moving that away from us, who are we and what are we? So when I say as a country, we speak the same, we should have no beef. If my colors are the same, we should have no beef. If I follow by the same rules, statute limits, and guidelines to be in this club, then we have no beef. We should not bend it for anybody else who want to get in our club. You see, America is the biggest gang in the world. Our colors are red, white, and blue. We rep the Constitution. We speak the different language. Our language is universal. It's American. It's English. That's where we get down. You can't get down with us. Why change us? You see, and we're changing to the inferior gangs and letting them in our gang and tell our gang how we need to get down. And that ain't how I try to be, not trying to keep it, like my man say, South Central, but we the biggest gang in the world, the best gang in the world. Everybody want to be part of our gang. So why should we change the rules for members who want to come in our gang and everybody want to come in our gang because of our rules? Because how we operate.
That's the most interesting thing ever. I mean, we're joined by Jimmy Lee Tilden, folks, on Intervision FM. You're running for state senate.
No, United States Senate.
United
States Senate.
Oh, you're running for United States Senate. Sorry about that.
I am.
And so you started your this campaign on the 24th of you announced it on the 24th of January.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, and you've been sharing pieces and parts of it, but what made you decide to go that level, and where are you as far as recognition in this field and all that kind of stuff?
Well, if y'all can see, if y'all watching on this Zoom, my beard is kind of scruffy, and I've been out here. I'm looking kind of hard. So in a minute, I'm gonna cut all this out because I'm out here hustling, get these signatures to get on the ballot. But the Senate is the key, ladies and gentlemen. If you understand what I'm saying, the Senate is the key. There are legislation and laws that have been passed in the United States that is here to divide America. I can talk about the HR 1 or the John Lewis bill. They're going to tell Black Americans that all of a sudden we don't have no rights. Once we became citizens of this country, we had a right to vote. What they marched on the bridge and what the 1965 Voting Rights Act was for, so we can have no discrimination, make it easier for us. There's nobody here in America that is Black that's being discriminated against. That bill is for the illegal immigrants, but they're going to use that bill to divide Americans and make it seem like it's a group of Americans who's fighting for the Constitution, who don't want the 14th Amendment shredded, like me, myself, who don't want the 14th Amendment shredded by allow another group of people come in here where the 14th Amendment, which gave me the right to citizenship and the voting rights, means nothing. You see, the Constitution said the 14th Amendment gave me that right. So to make that right null and void, to let a whole other group of people who do not fight for the same struggle or fight for this country, you see, that's another story itself. What I'm saying, they're going to use that bill to divide America. Then you're going to have like the, it's going to fail. You're going to have the confirmation of the first quote unquote Black female Supreme Court. As of right now, the Democratic Party is going to have 49 active members. You got Kristen Sinema says she's not going to vote on it, so you got 48. Even if 2 senators were to go over from the Democratic Party, they still don't have enough votes. But yet they're going to say that the Republican Party are racist and holding up progress. When in the Black community, a lot of people do not like the pick that was made. You have citizens right now, because foreign countries are being left behind. We're leaving people overseas behind. We're bringing crack pipes into the inner city. So right now, there are being laws that are being blatantly passed to hurt our country. The Senate has always been the key. We have to stop a lot of these things that are coming through that are here to divide and hurt the country. You see, the only way you can defeat America without launching a nuclear weapon, without coming here in tanks, is by dividing it within, by attacking the soul of America, which is an angry, dirty secret, which we have not addressed, which is the prejudice, not the racism, which is the prejudice that we have. They think we're a racist country. We have people with beliefs of one generation that are different from another generation. And so right now, if we as a country unite under an ideology and go back to when America was great, back in Grant days, when we believed in the flag, when all Americans, Black, white, yellow, brown, believed in the Constitution, the living document, and we fought for the flag. And that we shouldn't teach that love of country has to do with racism. This woke generation should not be telling children, tricking them out their birthright. You see, Johnny, check this out, Alan, you ain't hip to this, but check this out, Johnny. They told us a Black man should be in the army. Why? Racism. A Black country gonna love you. Why? Racism. The deal was to, when we become of age, not to be able to love a country which is ours. And when we became the dominant race in this country, how can we lead a great nation when we have no love for the nation? So why not spoil that who might be the dominant culture with such disdain for the country that they're not even fit for rulership, not fit for leadership. So the object of the game is to keep the Black man from feeling that he's not an American, keep him out the whole rights and full of benefits, because if he so become the dominant race in this land, if he loved this country, he'll protect this country and fight for like the quote unquote white man, when there's so many Black people in our army right now fighting for this country. When every war in the world we bled for this country, it will be evident that we love this country if we teach a generation that with the Constitution, we won our freedom and defeated a racist nation. We might not defeated the prejudice in the nation, but we defeated a racist nation.
Yeah.
So to remove these things is going back to the first Constitution, which did not like us in the first place, that we need a second Constitution, 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment to make it right because everybody was not equal. Why remove that and why make it not relevant unless you don't want the black man to be a part of this great land of making them seem ostracized? And that's the plan. Sorry, Alan, I got to let you in on the secret. That's all.
But I was also thinking about like okay, a lot of stuff started moving like really fast, in my opinion, when Lyndon B. Johnson told women, and somehow it got a hold of in black and white and Hispanic women, you don't need a man in the house. We'll be your daddy. You need food, let the government give you food. You need someone to pay for your baby's birth, we'll do it. And then it took a few generations. And I heard that before 1990, you would go to a gravesite and you would see like a husband and wife. Then after 1990, you just started seeing.
After 10th generation?
Yeah. After
Bill Clinton presidency, during the Bill Clinton presidency, when welfare reform came in, 3 Strikes You Act, would let me go in there and enslave these Negroes back on a Democratic plantation while they love me, while I'm the great master. And Lyndon B. Johnson told everybody at that time, I assigned the way the Democratic Party to the niggas for a generation. And guess what? The generation is over. There's 50 years in a generation. That generation is over. People see things. We had a president in that generation that was black. Johnson didn't see that. What you have right now is a bunch of African Americans who did more under a Republican president. 395 days ago, black unemployment was effing 5.3. Look where it's at now. Even footing. You see, the point I'm saying is, it's not difficult to say the previous administration policies was the best policies for anybody in my generation and even in your generation, Johnny. And Alan can say, well, man, blacks were doing good in Trump administration. You couldn't hide it. You can't deny it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is the generation is over. And that's why, circle back, I'm running for the Senate to prove that the generation is over, to make America great again, to bring back America First policies that was great for blacks, to point out how we had everything that we asked for: criminal justice reform, police reform, HBCU funding, low price of insulin, low unemployment, high wages. It's time to go back to policies where we were being treated as citizens, able to afford goods and services. Let's take it back to those days. This ain't the olden days where you can say that was back in my granddaddy days. Republicans do nothing for blacks. It's not that hard to show you 390 some days ago you were doing well. Everybody can see that. Inflation, you can't buy milk. Black man, white man, brown man, you can't buy cheese. You can't buy butter. What is it? Food, glass, heating. Is it what you got? Medicine, heat, gas for your car, or food? What you gonna suffer? I can't take my medicine because I got to pay the heat.
Absolutely.
I gotta take my gas, I gotta take my food down because I gotta go to work to be able to pay for the little stuff I gotta pay. So who is feeling good under Democratic administration where everybody is suffering? I don't care if you make $100,000, period. You gotta make choices. Heat for your home, medicine for yourself, food for your family, gas to get back there if you're working to make all that happening. But if you're on a fixed income, your COLA did not go up to meet the criteria that you're hitting. How's your COLA doing in this? Who's talking about the cost of living increase? Who's talking about that? No one, but I am. And that's why you go to jimmyleedc.com. You want to make sure somebody going to talk about the cost of living increase, how come it's hurting everybody. You're talking to this person right here because no one's talking about it.
So jimmylee.com?
jimmylee2dc.com. That's Jimmy Lee, the number 2dc.com.
Yeah.
Check me out.
Yeah.
You know, I got
want to make sure people get
donation. Give me $5. They ain't trying to
Yeah.
because it's all about the cost of living increase for the average day American. That people are looking at welfare recipients. They're not looking at the grandmother, grandfather, disabled. They're not looking at how they live off the fixed income and how inflation is hurting them, how they have to suffer and make choices. Gas is not, they might not be able to get around on gas, but it shows costing their little bus service. They have to go up on their prices because they gas hurting them.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hurting everybody.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about it but me.
And this is a good thing because they have such control of the media, which I didn't realize that, you know, until I got older. And because the left wing has such control of the narrative, you won't see it if you keep looking at the left channels and they keep demonizing the resources or the channels.
How many blacks, how many whites, how many poor, how many disabled are saying my cost of living adjustments is not adjusting to the cost of living? How many saying help me because I've not been adjusted to the cost of living right now towards inflation? Can you go up on me? Oh, you're gonna take $30 off my Medicare to pay for a couple of stuff. Can I get a free? Oh, my fault. You just went up $117. Oh, it used to be 30.
Right.
Can I get some relief? Because it was 30 a minute ago. Oh, who's talking about that? No one.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. And what we have here in Colorado, because we're blue here, we have this guy named Paulus, who I feel that he's going to try to go for the presidency, but he's so cold-blooded. He's intelligent, but cold-blooded. He destroyed 40% of our jobs here, as many blue states did. And I just hope the voters remember that this November, because we have a lot of left-wing people that moved here, but it was undiscriminatory. He just destroyed jobs.
Hurts everybody.
Yes.
I don't care
if
you in Bel Air or Brokeback Mountain. You can't buy food, gas, and cheese and butter. Bottom line.
Oh yeah.
No one escapes this inflation.
Yeah.
If you're in the stock market, you don't want to get your money out of the stock market. Why? You're gonna get taxed. And so what? Your money's dying out there in the market.
Right.
You're caught, you're frozen, you can't do nothing. Oh, we about to go over here and premiere, set some off, but we got to make sacrifices, everybody. What that means? High gas prices, high heating prices.
Yeah, and of course, when you see left-wing channels, they say, well, the inflation was high in 81, 82, but they don't say who caused that inflation in 80 and how we were just coming out of it because we got rid of that weak president. Who he was number one as far as like weak president, but Biden is on steroids, and he took that place.
Brother Johnson, and check this out, Alan. Let's go, Brother Johnson. We kick this off with saying like, how can we talk this younger generation about what's going on? How can they make mistakes? Inflation. Yes. I can't move out. I can't get no job. They feel that. They voted for Obama. They felt that. Let me go back. You all older than me. Y'all can't remember 25-cent bag of chips or 15-cent bag of chips or 10-cent bag of now later. When Jimmy Carter was out, I can afford that. Get a little 10 pennies, go to the store, a little 15-cent penny, go to the store. Bam. 25-cent bag of chips. 50-cent now later. Okay, maybe go down. Inflation. Okay, prices go back down. Then you go back down. Hold on. You mean to tell me bag of chips now 35 cents and now later is 25? Oh, see, as a kid, that was me in inflation. How it hurt me. And when I told somebody about it, they made me hate Jimmy Carter at that time. His name was Jimmy. My name is Jimmy. I saw him in church. I loved him. Shook his hand. High five him at the president. I'm down with you. Hey, you done came in and you done made ambassador. You made Andrew Young ambassador of the United Nations. Get down. You got people on your front yard barbecue. Get down, Jimmy Carter, and came to the hood. But my non-litters have went up. I can't afford a bag of chips, and I'm a little guy. And I was a little kid. I wonder how the big people felt. So if you're a little kid right today, a little teenager today, 19, 20 years old, really, ain't got all that money, you can't buy your goodies no more. You can't buy your cookies no more, your soda no more. You can't buy the things that made you happy no more. You can't go outside because of the mask mandate now. You're stuck in that. Everything that hit you so hard. There's no escaping this tyranny. And the media is not going to stick a camera in the faces of those people who are suffering because those suffering people
Yeah.
voted for the suffering.
Yeah. I
They
like
voted
to,
for the anti-racist.
yeah, I like to paraphrase Martin Luther King. He says, what good is integration if you can't afford to buy that hamburger with your fellow brother?
Right.
And when he started talking about that really set, I guess, FBI, the president, and all those guys off, because it's that now he's switching. He should be talking about civil rights, and how happy everything is. And now he's going to Vietnam War. He's talking about
how about this?
Being able to afford things.
What use of it is to become an American when the Constitution doesn't mean anything?
And they make it not mean anything because
I'm just saying, if blacks want to be recognized so much to be acknowledged by the Constitution, now why all of a sudden it means nothing? Why, when I want my equal rights and citizenship, I'm claiming it because I'm claiming it. Now you want to take it away, so it doesn't mean nothing. You fight for the flag, you fight for the Constitution, you fight for your family, you fight for the nation, you fight for your God. You don't fight each other. Disagree, you trip, same team. Me and Alan might have different opinion. He might not trust the plan. He might not go everywhere where I go. We might not go all together.
I trust the flag, but anyway.
Right. But you an American, I'm an American. It's all that matters. We speak the language. That's all that matters. They changing the rules. Let's fight for it. If you're gonna fight for me when they come up with my laws and regulations and rules, be damn sure I'm gonna fight for you. All we got to do is fight for our rights. They're God-given. Fuck the color. Excuse our language.
And I'm not sure. I don't know how it is in the state where you're at, but here in Colorado, we have these Cinco de Mayo days, the Martin Luther King, and we're hard pressed to see Republicans at these events. I see all these Democrat tables set up, and I say, well, for every Democrat table that's set up at a Cinco de Mayo thing or a Patriots Day parade, we should have a Republican table there saying, okay, that's one side of the story. This is the other side of the story. And I'm getting a little pushback when I'm saying, okay, Republicans, get off your comfort seat, come on down into the hood, set up offices in these neighborhoods so they can see, because the Democrats are out there knocking on the doors. Where are you?
Right. Well, listen here. Look at the new revolution. This is the third reconstruction of America right here. And right now, it's all about faith, family, and freedom. It's the Black Senate Revolution. We're going to have more Black senators coming in here like it was during the second reconstruction of America right there. And they're going to bring these policies what we're talking about, because once all Americans see Black Americans understanding, fighting for the Constitution, once white America hear that Black Americans fighting for their rights, be damned, they're going to fight for Black American rights too, because we need bodies on the front lines. We need bodies on the front lines fighting for the rights. So all you need, you fighting for me, I'm fighting for you. The Constitution battle line, where all the patriots at?
That's right.
White, yellow, brown, where you at?
All patriots.
Yeah, and it's coming together slowly by slowly. I mean, they had us huddled, had a lot of people huddled in their little corners, but it seemed like we're step by step we're breaking out these mass mandates, which mostly in the blue states, like we are here in Colorado, and we have governors and mayors lying to us saying, "Oh, we're open. Well, there's no mass mandates," but you walk into business and say, "Why is everybody?" Or why is most people wearing masks here? Sir, could you put in your mask? And it's this double lying standard. And it's almost like the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And the devil's always been a liar. So it's not I don't see it like more of a physical thing because I can't see colors. I see it as an internal spiritual thing that we're fighting good against evil. And we really got to keep that up.
I agree with you. It is good against evil. It's right against wrong. It's separation of man. You see, in my journey through patriotism, hanging out with redneck, jug drinking country, pit fat, going muddy water white people, I realized this, that we got so much more in common than that they say they are. Here I am, a Million Man March, pro-Black man sitting here, hip hop loving, sitting here with some country grooving, people high-fiving. When I realized, damn, Where the hate? You know, I would be scared to come in here because y'all redneck straight up, and I'm prejudiced. I'm prejudging you all. You ain't gonna come in my neighborhood because you hear our hip hop music, and we might, you know, you prejudging us. But then once you step in, it's like, you know, Alan, you've been in a club, you've been around a bunch of black folks, and it was all love. Like, man, I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. I don't know what everybody's talking about. And just like me, man, I'm having a great time. What the fuck y'all talking about? It's because we don't assimilate to see that, man, we can have a good time because we allow the outside forces to keep us apart. When that's the best thing to divide America off of fake. We hate each other when white folks screaming Black Lives Matter on the front line. You got black Jimmy Lee saying make it great again. Where's the racism? Where's separation? You know, I ain't no Tom. I'm letting you know that right now. Ain't no boom shining, but looking at boom, boom. No, kill it. I'm an American and I believe faith, family, freedom. And I know this. You see, my ancestors from the South, so they were descendants of slaves. I got some black friends who ancestors from the North and had no idea about going down South, you know, or no outhouse. They probably had one in water, whatever. But I know this, that my ancestors who picked cotton, who was bought and sold, all they wanted were their children to be free Americans. That was it. And so I'm not going to sit there back and make my ancestors' wishes for me right now to be a free American citizen. Like I said, a lot of people didn't see Roots. Roots is a great story. When Chicken George went back and got his family, we're free now. The end of the story now. From Kunta Kinte to Chicken George, now we're finally free. I done fought for the war. I done bought some land. We're free now. This is America now. Look at us. So my ancestors want this freedom. I choose America. So if I want to hang out with some, you know, redneck, country living white man, I put up that music. I listen to Keith, Toby Keith, whatever their names are. You know what I'm saying? I'll rock it. You know, I'll play it loud. I'll go drink some IPA. You know, we can hang out. Come on, hang out with me. We can split some blunts. We can roll out. You know, hey, it's all love. We're all America in the end. And once that happens, it should be, you see, here's the funny part. I don't know about you, Johnny, but I'm how to Alan. See, it's like this, Alan. Well, I don't know if you're blind, but I hope now.
Well, yeah, we both blind.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can't see now. Well, y'all might miss this days, but when y'all had sight, it's like this. Back in the day, pornography was white on white, black on black. All of a sudden now, interracial pornography is a thing now, right? Where it's no that problem. It's not as taboo as it is. So you want to judge society by what is taboo and what is all racism. You look at this porn. We got blacks and whites engaging in sexual intercourse loudly for the people to see it. How racist are we when we sit back at our crib and watch it and not think about it, might fantasize about what have you. Black men fantasize about white girls, white girls fantasize about black men, white men fantasize about black, you know, vice versa. The desire and lust for one another supersedes our racism and our degradation that everybody want to highlight. The fact that we can be each other and like to be each other and company want to copulate, hug, and kiss and be one another shows that we're not as racist as we've seen. Now, put pornography out there to be shock value, you know, but you want to break it down to that we can have a black man that's president whose mother was white and not look at it as misogyny to see how non-racial that we are here in America. And we need to, now let's skip that he was black. Let's look at the misogyny thing that created this individual. And let's look at how America's not looking at the misogyny. And then let's look how far we've grown from that point on. That's all I'm saying, Alan. What do you think about that, Alan?
Wow. That's pretty spicy meatball there, Jimmy Lee Tillman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Running for United States Senate. We have him on intervisionfm.com. We know this show is you run a little bit long. We do thank you for sticking with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Look up Jimmy Lee Tillman II DC.com and check out his information, his material. This guy, man, he's on fire, man. I'll tell you what, I think He's got my vote.
And donate. Don't donate. Go ahead and donate, because I get people coming to me all the time, and my wife always tries to stop me because I have these young people coming to me. Can I get $1? I said there's a one sign there, and they'll give you $15. Yeah, get away from me with that $1 thing, you know.
Right.
And it's just
Right. Well, if you want to donate, I ain't trying to hit everybody else for a lot of money. I'm saying give me $5 to make it happen, but that's Jimmy Lee 2 DC. That's Jimmy Lee, the number 2 DC. Jimmy Lee, the number 2 DC.com. I'm saying it again, Jimmy Lee 2 DC. Kind of rhyme. So everybody know that, you know, yeah, I'm on all of that, but my secret weapon is the cost of living range adjustment, because I feel that once you pop the lid that senior citizens, disabled people are suffering right now, they want relief, that need help, that need somebody to go there and make sure that they get adjustment. I'm talking about nationwide, not just here in Illinois, because no one's talking about it. Not Mitch McConnell, you know, not Nancy Pelosi, you know, no one, not the media, but that who's hurting the most, and that is who needs help the most, the elderly and the sick end. We can't let them die because they can't afford to eat. That they got to make choices. We can't let them be cold because they got to make choices for medicine.
That's right, folks.
Make these choices, and that is the most important thing in this election that no one is talking about. Whether it's a state, matter of fact, you listen for it, your state, local, federal. If you out here, you ask your politician, what you gonna do for my adjustment and my cost of living with this inflation? Are you gonna give me relief? Can I get a little stimulation? Or can you at least drop the Medicare deduction back to $30 instead you increase it? Can you give a little relief on that so I get more of my money back? You know, if it's too hard, if it's too hard to give me more money in my pockets, just make sure you can take less money out of my pockets. Let's make a little adjustment. You can adjust me right there by not making it $116, $30. It was just $30 a minute ago, just $30 a minute ago. That's a big hit. Some people don't realize that. You know, and I can't afford the basic stuff. I'm not getting no increase in my food stamps. I know I'm not getting no increase there. No, don't leave me out here to suffer and die. It's America. America is the only country where you can be fat and homeless.
Oh, yes, yeah. And I was just reading that it's like 31% of Americans are would be considered to be obese, and then the other 32% would be considered to be overweight. So, and I was asking a friend of mine, when did all this stuff started? When the drug and food got together and said, okay, let's feed them the food, then they have to take our drugs, and it'll just be a continuing ATM machine at the doctor's office.
Well, all I know is in the country, you and your children can be fat, out of weight, you know, probably out of shape and unhealthy, and you have nothing in your pocket. Where you're in another country, there's no such thing as a fat, homeless, broke person. There's no way you can be fat and homeless and with no money. No country in America without no flies flying in your face can you sit there and have no money and be fat. Here in America, we take care of people.
Yeah. So,
what's it, Alan?
I said, wow. Yep, that's absolutely right.
Right. And right now we have an influx, and that's another thing that in Denver they're doing. They want these safe shoot up galleries here in Denver, and they're wanting us to all carry this knock-on canisters. So if we see a homeless person who shot up and overdosed, that we can administer stuff to them. And they're saying that we're going to send it to you for free. And young people, stop listening to that word free, because if you're not paying for it, if you're living at home with mommy and dad, your parents, somebody is paying for that free knocking on thing. And they're trying to force this thing about a safe place for drug addicts to use their drugs. So if they should overdose, we'll be there. No, we need those people to be rehabilitated off the drugs and
free crack pipes, everybody. Free crack pipes.
Yeah, free
crack pipes. So
and Saki, Saki was lying about
crime
that.
bill. Let me tell you something. Just because your son smoked dope and you're too embarrassed to go buy his crack pipe, don't use American citizens for an excuse to get crack pipes mailed to you, okay? find you a little runner or your little son that can buy us crack pipe. I don't think America needs crack pipes because your son has a problem. Why don't you come out and come clean? Because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as a country. We have a war on drugs and give everybody crack pipes. What? I mean, no. I mean, okay, you want to legalize it? Let's just do this. Let's just say the war's over, cut the budget, throw it back into the, on a deficit, call it a day. Call it a day. If we're saying what you're saying, the war is over. Then why still fight a war? Drugs won. All right. Dope won. So that's it. Everybody want to get high. Stop it. You lost the battle. Cut the budget then. If you're going to give everybody stuff, shooting galleries, crack pipes, legalize everything, just say, okay, like Afghanistan, pack it up. Let's get the fuck up out of here before everybody realizes it's over.
Right.
So that's what's happening right now. Like everything, they are giving up the war. We have lost everything. I know the war on drugs was a spiraling pit of wasted money. But to turn back around and the money you're gonna waste, you're gonna give it to everybody to get high. It's the war on drugs, not the war to get high on drugs. I'm just saying, make your mind up. Lord have mercy. You lock so many of my friends, my friends, my family friends. I lost so many people, died left and right. You get caught with a half a blunt in your car, a little road trip. You can't go to college no more now. Freeze it. Free crack pipes, everybody. Free crack pipes.
And here in Colorado, they raised up where you could have enough. If you're caught with, I guess 4 milligrams or 4, I don't know what it was, 4. That's the number 4. That is no longer a crime, but that's enough to kill. What they say about 8,000 people. So they're raising the stakes. So if you're caught with like 3, fine. But you can with the stuff. And I don't know if you heard the story about the 5 people that found in the house. 6 people, 5 of them were dead because they took some lace fentanyl, and it just killed them. And we're being destroyed from within.
Alan, I'm not trying to front of you, Alan, because you're the white guy, and I don't want to pick on a white blind man on TV.
Oh, heck, here, brother.
So I'm gonna say this, Alan. It's because that a lot of white children now are into the bling bling. Let's sell the dope, and so they don't want to put the heinous crimes upon them that they put upon us. And so instead of just locking them up, what have you, they gonna release it all out that. So because hey, I'd rather get high with me than be dead in the street. I'd rather find the same sexual so you get high in there so you won't get die in the street. I can't stop Junior. Even the president's son smoked out. See, it's everywhere. Can't stop it. So let's just make a safe place for it. I just don't know what to do with Junior. Oh my God, Junior. So because of Alan and people, I'm sorry, I ain't trying to disrespect front of man, God, but it's because of that new picture of a drug user is not somebody black in the alley with a pipe in their hand. It's the president's son. It's the president's son. It's changed now. It's not like this. It's not Whitney Houston no more. It's Biden. So the picture of a crackhead, a famous crack drug user, ain't Richard Pryor no more. It's the president's son. So right now, you can't change the dichotomy of the look. So let's all make it. Everybody's doing it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't me. Oh. Everybody's doing it. Look, everybody got crack pipes. It's how a parent feels when they trying to come to grips with humiliation and embarrassment. He just had to be president. That's all.
Right. So I just hope people, and this show is going to be rotating, and I got it rotating on 6 of these channels, and then it'll be on and they keep on Wednesday night. My show comes on Compass 56. For some reason, I guess a lot of people are requesting when I talked about what happened in Afghanistan, and they've just been rotating that show over and over again.
That's great.
Because a lot of people are just requesting that. So,
listen, everybody. This show is the hot show because I'm picking on Alan. Alan hiding out for me, right? And so, all y'all people want Jimmy Lee to stop picking on Alan. Rotate this show.
It's the Jimmy Lee Pick on Allen Hour. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Intervision FM.
All right. But I'm going to put this in rotation, and I know why they're doing it, because they said, well, as long as we don't get those our Americans out of Afghanistan, just keep rotating the show. And a lot of people walk up to me and say, you don't know me, but thank you for your conservative views. All right. And
Well, hold on, excuse me. I got to plug my producer. You can go to TillmanFamilyPress.com to get Tillman's Handbook on Great Black American Patriots.
yes.
It's a history book on how Black Americans fought for this great country of ours. You can check that out. But dig it. For your listening audience, you can try Welcome 15, all caps, Welcome 15, for a discount code of 15% just for your viewers. And because I don't want everybody to trip on me for picking on the white guy in the corner because he can't swing back. I'm sorry, Alan. I give a discount out, my friend. I love you, Alan. I'm telling you, I love you.
I love you, brother.
Oh man. Well, we really appreciate you, and we thank you for coming back on the show. And last time you were here, it was October the 6th, and we thank you for coming back on the show. And
Let's do it once a month. I keep up my campaign.
Hey, that'd be all right, brother.
Fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic, because it's always a good show with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close it out. Don't forget, share the show. Share it with your young friends or older friends. Share it and like it. And we need more of those subscribers. So thank you for just really boosting our subscriber list. And I think we're about 1,000 more over viewers and stuff like that. So thank you guys for supporting.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Thanks to you folks. Thanks to you folks on Intervision FM. And we will see you guys next week. Don't forget about the Roxy tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Roxy.
Hey, one more thing, Alan, before we go. That's TillmanFamilyPress.com for the handbook and JimmyLee2DC.com. And don't forget, it's Welcome 15 for the discount of me and Alan going toe-to-toe. And I'm sorry, Mr. Coleman. Let's see if people will say,
this
hey,
guy's running for United States Senate, man. I'm going to vote for him right now.
Yeah, yeah. And don't forget the concert tomorrow with Dreamland Music. They do funny hip hop music and all that kind of stuff. So there are some good guys. I know they're the mother of their kids because they happen to be my daughter. So hey, go see at Roxy, $12 online, $15 at the door. And have a good time at the concert. Thank you once again, Mr. Tillman, for being on the show. And we'll see everybody next week.
God bless all y'all. God bless you, Alan. God bless Johnny. All right, God be safe. All right.